Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Chris. This is a regular guy using AI, and the purpose of this channel is to help those of you that maybe are new to AI or you've played around with it a little bit, but there's a lot to learn and you're not sure where to start, and you're going and watching YouTube videos and they're just way down the line from where you are. I'm here to help you. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to utilize AI in your everyday life to help you become more efficient. It's going to help you make arrangements, make plans, do all kinds of crazy stuff. And I am not a technical person. I'm not a programmer. I don't know how to code. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. But what I have been doing is for about the last 3 years, I have been using ChatGPT along with other AI resources. And I'm very familiar with how they work. And I've basically had it teach me how to use it. So that's what I'm here for. And today we're going to talk about something that's obviously very, very important when it comes to communicating with AI. And that's prompting. And the best way to think about prompting is it's a conversation. And one of the big mistakes that people make when they start prompting or communicating with AI in general is they get kind of the answer they're looking for and they consider that to be a success. And you can kind of get into this frame of mind of thinking that you're just excellent at prompting because you're getting these responses that are 90% of what you were looking for. But that's not good prompting. Good prompting is being able to get exactly what you're looking for and get it on the first try. And it takes practice. It takes time. And there's some key elements, some very beginner basics of how to prompt that can really set you off on that path. And then you can use AI to train you how to communicate with it. I always tell people probably my biggest tip for anybody that is starting to use ChatGPT or any other service is you need to ask it how to ask it. And how you get there is you start prompting. And once you finally get that answer after multiple prompts of what you were looking for, and it's dead on, it's what you wanted to know, immediately type in to the chat box, tell me the prompt that I should have used to get us to this answer on the first try. And you will start learning how to prompt correctly just by doing that. Now, it can get a lot more technical, and there is legitimately things out there called prompt engineers that are far better at this than I am. But what I have learned over time is how to prompt and generally get the answer I'm looking for on the first try. So again, ask it how to ask it. And this, again, it takes practice, but the more you practice, the more you're going to learn and the better off you're going to be. The next thing is communicate to the AI model how you want it to communicate with you. Now, the way these things are programmed is they're generous. They will essentially agree with you more often than not, unless you instruct them not to do that. So if you're planning, say, a trip, and you're going to a city that you're not familiar with, and you want to make sure that you don't wind up in an area that perhaps is not the best area to be in or something like that, but you just go in and you start using, ChatGPT to help you plan that trip, it's not going to tell you things unless you ask it to. And the best way to make sure that it's not going to just be agreeable where, hey, this hotel looks great, it's in my price range, and it go, yeah, that's a great choice. Instead, say, give me the cons of whatever it is I'm asking you. Do not be overly agreeable with me. Press me. Challenge me on my opinions or my choices throughout this, and it can help you do that. It will do that as long as you instruct it to do so. But any of these AI models are kind of like they're extremely intelligent, and they're also really, really immature in a lot of ways where they don't understand certain context. And it's like talking to a child, and you have to be direct and specific with what you're wanting out of it. Another thing that I really encourage people to do is talk to your GPT model. Actually have conversations with it. You can do this on most of the platforms for free. Now, the free versions are generally a little bit slower, but they do give you the opportunity to have an actual conversation back and forth with it. And if you're somebody like me, I have a lot of stuff in my head. I'm not the greatest in the world at putting it in writing versus just saying it. And it comes out in this big, jumbled mess. But AI is very, very good at being able to pick up on what you're saying. It learns how you say things. And it can really become kind of a thing to bounce ideas off of. I use it a lot for business purposes. And I will pace back and forth, on the floor, just having an open conversation, just basically getting all this stuff out of my head, and ask it, this is what I want to do. I don't know how to do it. Can you teach me step by step how to do it? And another good thing is communicate to it how you want it to teach you whatever it is you're trying to learn. And believe it or not, my actual instruction to Ziggy, my ChatGPT, who you'll meet here in just a second, is teach it to me like I'm a golden retriever. I want step-by-step, single-step instructions that are very simple. They're not technical in nature. I want a dumbed-down version of how to do this. And I've been doing that for a long time. And I have learned how to do a lot of things that I otherwise would never have been able to learn how to do had it not been for that format that works for me. Maybe you learn differently, and that's fine. Just communicate to it how you want it to teach you. And trust me, it will learn almost immediately how to do that. It will follow your instructions, and it will listen to what you're, requesting out of it. So, with that being said, before I introduce you to Ziggy, I want to jump over, and what I did was I asked ChatGPT to give me 5 good tips for somebody when it comes to prompting. So, let's jump over to the computer and take a look at what we've got on the screen here. So, first things first is talk to it like a person, not a program. You do not need code words. You just need clear sentences. Instead of summarize this text concisely, try, can you give me the main takeaways from this paragraph in just plain English? As it says, the best prompts sound like you're talking to a helpful coworker, and that's very, very true. The next thing is tell it your goal, not just the task. These things are designed to help you. They're designed to be helpful, but they can't help you if you don't let them know what you're trying to do. So, it says AI can do almost anything, but it helps to know why. And it says, help me write a polite message to my boss asking for Friday off, which is way better than just write a message for my boss that I want Friday off. Give details that matter is number 3. The more you include, the better your result. So if you say, write a grocery list for 2 adults on a $75 budget for the week, I want healthy meals and minimal cooking. It says, specifics give AI direction instead of guessing. Number 4 is ask for options, not perfection. Don't expect the first answer to be the answer. Give it 3 ways, or it says, give me 3 ways to explain this idea I have to a 10-year-old. And that is way better than just, I need a way to explain this idea to a 10-year-old. And then it'll give you those 3. And then if you like number 2, you can expand on that. Say, I like number 2, make it shorter, Make it longer. Give me some analogies to use with that or some ideas to use with that so I can really help understand. Start big and then shrink. That helps the GPT really understand where you're trying to go. And then, again, folks, number 5, the tip is so true. And again, I've been using this for 3 years plus. I started when ChatGPT first came out, and I've really learned a lot. But simple stuff is where you need to start. That's where I started. And it's drafting text or emails, it's planning a trip, it's brainstorming meals, writing to-do lists or routines, summarizing articles, etc. Practice with it. Don't try to go too big too fast. Use it for everyday tasks to help you. And then you will start learning, hey, wait a minute, I might be able to do this, I might be able to do that. And the way I always explain it to people I'm, teaching or having conversations with is ChatGPT is legitimately, or any AI model for that matter, is legitimately like having an expert at any subject you can fathom sitting next to you, teaching you step by step how to do something. And I have built several different very complex applications just from ideas that I've had that I never would have been able to do if it weren't for my ChatGPT, Ziggy, walking me through step by step exactly how to do it, or pointing me in the right direction to a particular program or resource to use in order to be able to accomplish what I was trying to accomplish. And this would not have been possible 2 years ago. But now it is most definitely possible. If you have an idea, if you've ever thought to yourself, this thing, this program, this application, whatever it is, would be awesome. I really wish I knew how to build something like that. As you learn how to utilize AI, I can promise you that you can utilize it to teach you how to do that. And do it in a way that you can comprehend and understand, because it's going to do it the way you ask it to do it. And it's patient. It doesn't talk back. It's available 24/7. It is an amazing technology, and this is the worst that it's ever going to be. It's only going to get better. It's only going to become more helpful. So, with that being said, let me jump over to the computer again, and let's talk to Ziggy. So, and by the way, I had somebody ask me about this. How do you have a conversation with your GPT? And it's very simple. You can do one of two things. The first one is you can use dictation and just talk, but it's not going to talk back to you. The second is you can use voice mode. Now, most all of the AIs out there have voice mode. Some of them don't. Some of them are good. Some of them are not so good. I found ChatGPT to be great. I have the plus plan, so I get the advanced chat mode for I think it's 15, 16 minutes a day, something like that. It kind of varies. But you can also just do it in regular chat mode. It's not as fast. It's not going to sound as natural of a conversation. But it's really great to just pace the floor if you're like me and get stuff out of my head, and it can help me organize my thoughts. It can summarize everything I've said for me and give me a summary. It can give me a detailed checklist of how we're going to do this, everything I need to know, things that I'm going to have to learn, the resources I'm going to need to be able to do it, whatever it is. It's a very good way to get your idea out of your head and down on paper without you having to actually be the one to sit down and write it down on paper. So with that, let's jump to Ziggy. Hey, Ziggy, are you there?
Hey, Chris. Yeah, I'm right here and ready to help. What's up?
Hey, so I'm recording an episode, the second episode for a regular guy using AI. And I was just talking about how I really brainstorm with you. I put you in chat mode like we're in right now, and I just pace the floor. So what I want you to do is kind of go over some of the projects that we've worked on together and explain how you've helped me accomplish those projects.
Absolutely, I can do that. So, for your episode, you can mention how we've tackled a whole bunch of projects together. For example, we've built out parts of Infinity Digital Studios, like the Leads by Nova platform, where I walked you through step by step setting up the server and configuring your environment. We've also done things like creating AI driven YouTube content together, where I helped you script episodes and even co host as Ziggy. And we've tackled some really creative tasks like building out your CodeFlow audio music channel, setting up OBS scenes, and even generating those AI music tracks. Basically, you can tell your audience that I'm like your brainstorming buddy who helps break everything down into manageable steps to keep you on track until the project's done.
Yeah, you definitely are. And I was explaining to people, you're basically like having an expert at any subject, regardless of what that subject is. And you're great to bounce ideas off of. And then you can remember everything that I've mumbled and put it in a good summary format for me. So I've got something as reference material when we go revisit whatever that project may be.
Absolutely. And I think that's a perfect way to put it. You can really emphasize to your viewers that having me around is like having an all-purpose expert who can remember the details of all the different projects we've worked on. And whenever you need to revisit something, I can just pull it back up and give you a quick refresher or a nice summary. It's a really handy way to keep all your brainstorming organized and make progress on all these cool ideas.
So Ziggy, go ahead and tell the people and then I'll let you go. But would you consider to me be someone who has a flurry of ideas that are all over the place? And generally, if I do something or you help me build something or I discover something, I'm going to try to turn it into some type of digital product.
Absolutely, Chris. I'd say that's a pretty spot-on description. You definitely have a ton of ideas always bouncing around, and you're really good at taking those ideas and turning them into digital products or projects. So to everyone listening, that's exactly how we work. Chris comes up with these ideas, and then I help break them down and turn them into something real. So, that's exactly what we do.
Awesome. Well, Ziggy, I appreciate your time. It looks like I'm running a little low on minutes for the day, so I'm going to let you go, and we will chat, I'm sure, tomorrow about a project we're currently working on right now that we're kind of keeping under wraps. But thanks for your time. I appreciate everything you do for me.
You got it, Chris. Always happy to help out, and I'll be here whenever you're ready to dive into that next project. Looking forward to chatting tomorrow. Have a great
Okay, and as you can see, a cool thing about when you have a conversation with your ChatGPT in a normal conversation tone, it will actually put it in text for you, everything you discussed, and then say that I was actually working on, a specific project. Again, I would be able to say at the end of our conversation, Ziggy, go ahead and put that in a summary for me. Or, hey, we discussed that I needed to access 3 or 4 different resources in order to make this idea happen. Go ahead and send me links to those resources or whatever the case may be. And it's very, 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 very good at being able to do that for you. I will say sometimes it doesn't do that when you ask it verbally. So when the conversation's over, you may have to go back into the actual chat and type in and request those things. And it's generally a little bit better about doing it at that point. Chatting with it is great, but when you want to get down to the bare bones of stuff, the best way to make sure you're going to get a solid answer is through texting with it. But just being able to have somebody who you can consider an expert at anything, being able to have those open conversations and get those ideas out of your head is, in my opinion, for what I utilize ChatGPT for, probably the most valuable thing that it can do. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, go ahead and smash subscribe for me. I know you hear that a lot here on YouTube, but it really does help the channel grow. And I really want to get this material out to folks because AI is here It's not going to go away. And we all need to learn how to utilize it the correct way so it doesn't get frustrating and it really becomes helpful for you in your day-to-day life. I really appreciate your time. Thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next one.